Welcome to Mentoring Moment. You are going to have a great time today because I have a very special guest and I'm going to be leveraging his achievements and exposure to be a blessing to you. You stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Ferami, welcome to Mentoring Moment. I am very happy. I'm excited to be here. I think I'm starstruck now.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
Now, for the benefit of those who are watching, I want you to just tell us who you are and what you do, and I really want them to really benefit and enjoy and leverage your experience up to
Sure.
date. All right.
My name is Fermi. I'm a drummer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a music producer. What else do I do? Music consultant as well. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, all right. So you said you are a drummer.
Yes.
I know you are a drummer. All right.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you drum very well.
Oh,
I know you.
thank you.
I know you're very good.
Oh,
very
thank
good.
you.
You're a music producer.
Yes.
And then also you also produce other people's.
Yes.
Now, what I tend to do with in mentoring platform is to. There may be somebody out there today who is thinking of becoming a producer,
Sure.
becoming a songwriter.
Sure.
Right? You create your own music, don't you?
Yeah.
You're also an accomplished drummer. Now, I want you to tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Sure.
Key highlights.
Okay.
If you don't say it, I will say it.
Okay. Sure.
Key highlights.
Sure.
And then we'll take it from there.
Okay. I started playing drums as a result of a good friend of mine. He used to take drum lessons, and I was a really shy kid, so I wouldn't go near the drums if anyone was around. And then one day he taught me one beat, and that was it. I got hooked. But prior to that, I started off playing guitar and writing songs. That was my first thing. I used to write songs when I was about 12, 13. Never played it to anyone, just in my room with a guitar. I wrote like at least 50 to 100 songs, and just
50 to 100 songs.
never told anyone about it. Never said it because I wasn't confident at all. And then fast forward, I guess I went to study at Brit School of Performing Arts, same school that Adele went to, Leona Lewis, Ella Eyre, Rizzle Cakes, a bunch of these artists, and that's kind of where I started to gain my confidence as a musician, as a songwriter, as a producer. And
so you said you went to the same school as Adele?
Yeah.
Looking around.
So that was a really good experience, and straight after that I got a scholarship to study at Berklee College of Music in Boston, which was at the time my dream because that's where Quincy Jones studied. And but I decided to stay for various reasons, and I went straight into working in music, and I guess that's my background in songwriting, and out of that became, I guess, the development of being a better musician and a better songwriter and a better producer. And yeah, that's kind of
all right. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I want to talk about the what I'll call tipping points. What will you say?
Oh,
because
boy.
The music industry is so competitive. All right. And sometimes there are very good people who are not discovered.
Yeah.
All right.
Now
I know that you've played drums for some major names.
Yeah.
So what is that? What was that tipping point for you? For you?
Oh man, tipping point. I feel like there's been various tipping points at various stages in my career so far. So a tipping point could be I actually just celebrated 10 years of being full-time in music. And because the first tipping point was I played on an album when I was 16. And another tipping point, last year I got to tour with Sir Elton John. I also, I guess by the time you see this, I'll have played at the O2 Arena with an artist called Georgia Smith for BBC. So there's been various tipping points.
You went on tour with Elton John.
Yes.
So what was it really like on stage?
Oh, he's incredible. He is an amazing man. He's got such a lovely heart, and he can outplay most musicians that I know. And he's consistent. I got to see him do it not once, not twice, at least, what, 11, yeah, enough times to know that he's consistent. He's incredible at his job. So he asked us to come on tour with him. So we'd play the first half an hour before his crew come on. Yeah. So we met him on the first night, and we were only supposed to do like 5 shows. And then after the like 3rd show, he was like, great, hey guys, that was an amazing show. So I'll see you guys at this other this other day. And everyone's like, yeah, sure. He walks out the room and like,
whoa.
What? Exactly. So yeah, it was absolutely incredible. He's an amazing man, and he cared about us. He didn't just he would come and see us, he'd say hi, he would have conversations. It wasn't just a ghost, if you want to call it that. Okay. So it was incredible. Okay. So I guess that could be a highlight, definitely. A highlight for sure.
So what would be what would you say your highest accomplishment is as a drummer?
Okay, I would say the highest accomplishment wouldn't necessarily be a gig that I've played, but the fact that I always get first right of refusal for a lot of important shows. Wow. It may not, for me, that's an achievement because it means that they value my time, my experience, and they know that if I say yes, it means yes, that I'll be there, I'll be punctual, I'll know my stuff, and I'll deliver. Also, gratefully, if I'm not able to make it, I'm always able to point them in a direction of somebody that I trust, that I know, who can also serve the purpose, not just for one gig, but they can do the whole tour. Or, I've always had this thing since I was a kid that I don't want to get to the top of the mountain by myself. So I would really, as many people as I can to celebrate with at the top of the mountain is what I want to do. So I don't always take something on because I'm not free. Sometimes it's because it might be an incredible experience for somebody else to kick off their career in that way. But yeah, that's for me an achievement.
How did you transition from drums to being a producer?
Sure. So that's oh man, that's the biggest accident in my career. So what happened was I was playing so many gigs at the time, and I became a music director for most of the artists I was working with, and that meant getting the musicians together, organizing the arrangements for some of the shows, and liaising with, I don't know, sound engineers and all those things. And then what would happen is a couple of times when they were going into studio to record, they would call me to come and be the music director for the recording, which meant arranging the songs for that recording, which I later found out was producing. And like I mentioned before, I went to Brit School. So I had a couple of artists, a couple of friends that became artists that wanted to, I guess, record their music and would call me. And I'd be like, great, let's book a studio. I can help you arrange it. And I play keys and guitar enough to record, but I wouldn't play on stage. Okay. That's kind of how I started to transition into music production. And now I would say that production really means taking something from an idea to release. Because some people might think that production is just making a beat and that's the end game. But to really be a music producer is to work with an artist to the point of them releasing the songs and actually seeing what their audience and their target market receives it as.
Okay, now let me get something straight about production. Now, when you produce someone, at what point do you hand over the project to them?
Oh yes, in technical terms, I hand over the masters. The masters being that whatever I hand over to you, you can release it tomorrow on Spotify. That's what I hand over. And but because of my experience, as you said, as like playing drums and in the live setting, it turned out that my journey with most artists never really ends, because once the music is out, I'm able to assist in terms of how to organize your shows, how to even getting a band together for your shows and all of that. And by the time that cycle with that record is done, they start writing again, and I'm able to assist with songwriting. So I feel like every time I start a journey with someone, it's to no end, which I'm grateful for because I get to have more friends.
That's right. So I want to talk about mentoring and enterprise. So we'll talk about enterprise.
Yeah.
So how are you able to? I mean, you mentioned that this is your 10th year.
Yeah,
as,
yeah.
You know, any your keep in the
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
So, what does it take to really sustain yourself? So for you to sustain yourself full time.
Yeah.
You know, in this industry.
You have to have multiple streams of income. If you're at the moment, if your dream at the moment is to be a drummer, for instance, mine was just to tour the world playing drums. But when no one calls you for a gig, you're literally just sitting dormant, waiting, and that puts the power in someone else's hands that I didn't really enjoy. So multiple streams of income could easily be, you can be playing drums for artists, you can be teaching drums, you can also serve at a church, you can do so many things with your gift that give you more exposure than just waiting. And I think that's kind of what I've been blessed enough to be able to do, to diversify my skills and, like you said, leverage my skills in different avenues more than just sitting down and playing. And we're creatives at heart. Get creative. There are so many ways you can expand your gift by just getting creative beyond the opportunity. That's probably what I'm going to say.
So, well, but how do you manage the enterprise side of it? How do you because by the time you're talking about being full time, it means that somebody is paying for something. So behind that is a whole enterprise machinery.
Because
at the end of the day, you need to have your bank account, you need to pay your taxes, so there's a lot of things that happen on the business side.
Yes.
So how do you then manage your business time? Because some people just follow that, because they just want to focus on their skills and their competencies. But when it comes to moving to the enterprise where you want to get paid for what you are doing and then manage finances, so how do you manage that business side?
Sure. So best thing, what I've done is, number one, organization is everything. So I'm very strict with my calendar. And I say that as though everybody should be strict with their calendar, but I have to be, because if they say to be there at 7, I'll be there at 6:30. That's one way I manage, I guess, how I come across with every job, because every gig is an opportunity or a missed opportunity. Because if you do something that whoever you're working with doesn't like, you're out the door, because we're indispensable in so many different ways. But in terms of finances, simple things like sending an invoice. I went online, I had to check what that meant, why I needed an invoice, what does that even mean to send an invoice. And also, I guess, in that way, what I did was ask questions. In terms of finances, I found the nearest accountants to me and found out, what does it mean? This is what I do. And this is what they're asking me to do, send invoices. What does that mean to me? And that's where I learned about paying taxes and keeping a record of receipts and just things that no one ever taught me in school. They just say, go and live long and prosper. And they never tell you anything else. Exactly, they never tell you about that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Learned that the hard way. And just, I guess, in terms of managing that aspect, the best thing I could say is always ask questions, because you never really know everything. And that's what saved me personally. Even in terms of marketing, social media, as much as it might seem like, oh, it's just my life, I get advice from marketing experts, social media managers, like, what do you think I can do to make my pages look better? So I am better represented, because as I am, this is my only poster. I can't really, I can't really put a billboard out saying that I'm a drummer. Hire me. So exactly, I need it. So that's kind of, I guess, my best advice. Ask questions. Always ask questions. Even in terms of, like, you don't have to. I keep using drums because it's easy. It's an easy analogy to. A lot of drummers, for instance, may not have enough money to buy a drum kit, but doesn't mean they don't know somebody that has a drum kit. And even renting out your drum kit is another stream of income that no one told me until it would just be sitting in the shed for 3 months. Meanwhile, there's a gig happening every night, especially in London, that they don't all have drum kits of the standard that you have. So that's what I mean by getting creative. But even in doing that, do you get them to sign a contract? Do you get them to pay a deposit? So I asked somebody else who rents out camera gear, how do you do it? And then they send me a draft or I research online. I read more than I do. So that's kind of how I've managed.
Now that, so for somebody watching this program today,
Yeah.
that all you've said now about
Yeah.
the enterprise side can be so daunting.
Yes.
It's like you running two operations.
Absolutely.
You have to manage your competency and you have to survive, you have to lead.
Yeah.
So for somebody who is watching today,
Yeah.
what advice will you have for them?
I would say my best advice is, because I guess being self-employed, I do my best to compete with the 9-to-5ers. So I get up at 7, I'm ready by 8, and I split my day up in a way that allows me to accomplish both sides of the coin. So if it means the first 2 hours I'm practicing drums, then I take a half an hour break, and then next 2 hours I'm replying emails, sending emails, chasing invoices, sending invoices.
Wow.
And then in another hour, I would check up on the people I have worked with. How are you? How's the record going? What are you planning to do next? Before you know it, that's already 7 hours gone. And you can't expect to sit down and expect it to come to you. It doesn't work like that. You have to, that's why I started with, I'm strict with my diary. I'm very intentional about everybody I check up on, everyone I care about, and also on a business level, everybody that I want to engage with. If I want to work with Nike tomorrow, I'm not going to call Nike's office.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on LinkedIn and research everybody that works at Nike. If I know anybody that's a mutual friend, all that research takes time and has to be on purpose. So my advice would be, choose, even if you can only do that for 3 hours a day, split it up in a way that you feel, you know that you can accomplish the tasks that you set ahead of you, and do it every day. Because I once read that success is little things done well every day, and it amounts to something great. So I just ran with that, and I do little things every day that amount to the big things. So that's how I kind of manage my day, really.
Okay. You mentioned that you have a passion for helping people get to the top. How do you fulfill that? Do you run a mentoring program? Do you run a coaching club?
I don't. It is something I'm quite interested in, running a workshop.
Okay.
But at the moment, no. How it tends to happen is I get approached by a lot of younger musicians, I guess, and younger producers, and who want to find out how to get into the industry. So I always do the thing of, I invite them over and we sit down and talk about what their ambitions are. And then I invite them over to follow me to work one day. And then if they have a gig, I invite myself over and go and see how they operate, because I think more than the actual job, it's your work ethic behind it that's going to speak for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I tend to and I call them every day. What are you doing today?
Yeah.
What are you not doing today? Why are you still sleeping? It's 10 o'clock. Everybody's already doing something, and I do that because it's purely because it's something I wish someone did for me. And it's not to say that no one did it for me, but there are certain areas that I had to learn the hard way. That if it doesn't have to be hard for someone else, I would definitely love to make that aspect of their lives easier, or at least show them the path in some way. That's kind of the help.
Ferami, thank you for coming to our studio today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Man, thank you.